All right, so we recording. Welcome to the SFC First Class Poles show. The #1 recruiter in the world. Nah, but I'm one of them. Got a little special guest with me. Introduce yourself.
Private First Class Woodard.
We go way back, right?
Oh yeah, way for a long time.
Way back. I remember when I first met you. Life wasn't the best, right? You didn't have the best job. You didn't have all the money in the world. You didn't have the cars that you wanted. Tell us where was life for you before you joined the Army, without getting too personal.
So life before the Army was rough. Had multiple jobs, never steady, never consistent steady income. Just not enough structure. It wasn't for me. Didn't want to work. Just had multiple jobs.
And then you had a baby girl too, right?
I did. I had a daughter. Kind of changed perspective on life for me. So
now remember you came into office and your goal was you knew that you wanted to join the Army, but there was a little hiccup. You was in the middle of doing what?
So there was a big hiccup. So on top of just working, I had dropped out of school and wanted to join the Army. It was all gung-ho about joining the Army, and I stepped foot in your office, and you basically said, no, you need at least a high school diploma or GED, and I didn't know that at that time. So that was one of
even now, people think that you can't join the Army without a high school diploma. People don't know that you could join with a GED. So when you came into office, and I'm like, look, man, I wish I can get you in, but you got to go. You got to go talk to those people. You need to sit down. You really need to go get your GED. And you didn't give up. So what did you do after that?
So after you told me I needed to go get my GED, I went to Finger Lakes Community College. Got hooked up with the GED program over there. Took about 4 or 5 months to get the GED. Took probably one practice test and then took the final exam. Ended up passing. They gave me my GED a week later. Did a graduation ceremony and all that stuff right at Finger Lakes Community College, and then stepped foot back in your office and told you I got it. And you just
Let's go, right? So we ready to move right after that. So boom, now we got your GED. We're ready to move on. And then the first thing we gotta get you test qualified, right? So tell the people about the ASVAB. Is the ASVAB something that an applicant off the street just want to come in and is like, hey, I want to take the ASVAB, let's go?
No. Personal experience, you need to study for that crap. It's not as easy as everyone thinks it might be, especially not being in school for such a long amount of time. There's a lot of stuff I had forgotten about with the math and English and stuff like that. I ended up taking it, I don't know, 3 times before I passed. First 2 times I did absolutely horrible, and then ended up studying and then passed.
Right. Yeah, that's something not a lot of people have success with, especially being first timers. And then like when you're out of school for X amount of years and you're coming right back in, the first thing you gotta do is take a test. Some of that stuff you forget. It's really a use or lose with a lot of that, the basic information. So I know you'll be the first one to say, no, go back and study.
Yeah, I would definitely go, and it sounds weird, but I would go and get ASVAB for dummies and definitely hit the study for at least an hour a night.
It works. ASVAB for dummies is one of the ones that works. They got a couple new ones online now, but a lot of our applicants go back and they say they go to the library because they know they could get it free. They don't have to buy it. Check it out. And then they're studying out of ASVAB for dummies. Tell me Now we got you test qualified, right? So that next step is probably a bigger one. Is the MEPS. Going through getting your physical. Talk to me about the night before MEPS. Talk to me about the day of MEPS. Then talk to me about raising your hand.
So the night before MEPS was awesome. Got there at the hotel, put us in this big fancy hotel, nice room, great food, surrounded by some really good people that are also joining different branches. So, you're not alone when you're there. Get to talk to a lot of different people from around the state. So we hung out, ate, and then got up about 3:30 in the morning, went and ate breakfast, got on a bus, went to the MEPS center, and that was kind of long. There's a lot of steps involved in there. It was a little intimidating, but not too bad. Just went in there and did what they had asked of me, and it went by pretty fast. Once you started getting
now, without saying too much, and I want you to be totally honest, how important is it for an applicant to listen to the recruiter before they go into MEPS, with every step that is taken through MEPS?
It's extremely important to listen to your recruiter. Everything you tell your recruiter before going to MEPS, everything you tell your recruiter, you need to keep your story straight. So when you go to MEPS, everything you told your recruiter, you need to tell them. Because if you don't, and you say something about, I don't know, you got stitches when you were like 5 years old, it's going to stop the process. It's just unnecessary. So anything you tell your recruiter.
A lot of people don't get that. They think that if they leave something out for the recruiter not to know, that's going to help them out when they get to MEPS. And then when they get to MEPS, that's when they want to tell the doctors at MEPS, thinking they're going to continue with that process, but the process stops. And I'm pretty sure even when you went through MEPS, you had some people that didn't make the cut.
Yeah, there was quite a few people. So it's always during that medical portion when you're in there talking to the doctor one-on-one, when they lock you in that room and they ask you, about 3 or 4 times over again, is there anything else you want to tell us? Just keep it straight and tell them no, and you'll be good.
Okay. Now let's transition. Now you went past, you got your degree, you got your GED, then you passed the ASVAB, you passed the physical portion of MEPS, and now you're going into signing that contract. You already knew what you were going to do before you signed. You got the job you wanted. When you signed that contract, right, did you know the date you were leaving? Did you know your incentives? What happens the day you sign the contract?
So the day you sign is kind of like I don't know how to explain it. It's like a very emotional part, I guess, because it's the very last step. Once you raise your hand, you sign that contract, you're done. You're going in. And so when I went in there to sign my contract, I knew what job I wanted. I knew when I wanted to go, and they gave me everything I wanted. So it was quick and easy after that. They ended up shipping me out within 2 weeks. I was gone out in basic training. So.
And to remind everybody, what job did you pick?
12 Bravo, combat engineer.
So you picked 12 Bravo. You end up going to basic training and AIT. I believe that 12 Bravo is a OSINT, right? One-stop shop, all at Fort Leonard Wood.
Oh, yeah.
So I went to Fort Leonard Wood. So how was Fort Leonard Wood when you went? So I'm going to tell you my experience, which was back way before you, right? So you go there, and you can tell me if anything changes. So you land at the airport, you catch the bus, you ride it to Fort Leonard Wood. You get to Fort Leonard Wood, so you're in processing. And that's when, they come in the bus, they do the legendary screaming, get off the bus. You're getting off the bus, you don't know what to expect. There's a little fear there. And that's basically when the processing part starts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happens after that? Well, what you doing during that processing?
So in processing for me, it was long.
They say that's the roughest part too. Is that still true?
Yeah, it's a lot of hurry up and wait. It's a lot of go here, get it done, and then you sit in the main room or the main lobby.
So if we voted, you vote for in processing being tougher than basic training.
Oh, definitely, for sure. Yeah, there was more. It felt like that 8 days, 9 days felt like a month. Basic training was quick.
So that's the process. You're getting your uniforms, you're getting your medical right, haircuts, you're getting everything dressed right, dressed. So the day that you go to basic training, you won't need nothing else. That's correct, right?
Exactly.
So then they ship you to your basic training company, or where the training area where you sleep, where you're going to be at. That's the first time you meet your drill sergeants, right?
Oh yeah.
And then that's when they do the legendary shark attack. They can YouTube it, they can see it. How is it as bad as what people make it out to seem like?
It's not as bad, no. Just like that, if you listen to everyone else and they make it seem like it's more than what it actually is, and you psych yourself out and freak yourself out, it's going to be a lot worse than what it actually is. But you go in there ready to go and you just do what you're told. It's easy.
So you're in basic training. You got your phases of basic training. Tell me about basic training from the start to the end, the phases in between, the freedoms that you earned while you were going through basic training. Tell me about that part.
So red phase, that was pretty tough.
That's the first phase, right?
Yeah, it was the first phase. It was the first, like, I don't know, like 3 weeks or so, 2 weeks. And that's like your point of you realizing where you're at and what you need to do. It's basically setting you up for what you need to do and who you need to be during that time while you're there. Kind of get to learn how to march, cadences, all the above, PT test. So it was kind of hard during that time. And once you move on to from red phase into white phase, I believe, you get a little bit more freedom, a little bit more responsibility, especially when you're eating chow. You get to use a fork at that point.
So let me ask you this: if you could get past the red phase, you think you're golden throughout the whole?
Oh, yeah. If you get through red phase and you do the red phase, the white phase ceremony, and they change the flag out, you've done good, and you're not one of those weak ones that just decided to drop out.
Now let's talk about the dropouts, because I remember when I was in basic training, and I, with all my heart, believe that when I was in basic training, that it's not that bad because you're not going through it by yourself. You got somebody to the left or to the right of you, so it's not that bad because everybody else is going through the same stuff you're going through, and y'all can joke about it. You build friendships, long-lasting relationships. I still talk to people I went to basic training with. I'm pretty sure you still talk to the same guys or girls that you went to basic training with. So to take it back, does it make sense for someone to kind of like give up in basic training? Because when I was there, they still had to stay the whole time. And by the time they were able to leave, we were already dang on there graduated and getting ready to leave. So they would have been with us regardless if they just would have stuck it out.
Yeah, if you join, I would not recommend just thinking that you're going to drop out and just get to go home, because not. You're going to be there. It's the same thing. We ended up graduating, and the guys that dropped out were still there, and they were getting sent to another company.